Christopher Johnson, tell us more about you. Who are you?
Hi, this is Chris Johnson. I'm the guitarist and lead singer for the Cortland Experiment, also a contributor to blackmeninamerica.com.
All right, so let's talk politics. What is the biggest issue facing the 2020 election?
I think the 2020 election, the biggest issue is just defeating Donald Trump. I think for the average working person, Donald Trump is a disaster, and his policies are harmful in terms of our jobs and our environment. So I think that's the number one issue.
All right. I see a lot of pundits on both sides of the aisle, on all of the networks and on the internet. Do you have a challenge or an issue with what you see and hear on TV?
I have a huge issue with the pundits, especially the mainstream media pundits. So I really want to stay out of the politics stuff and just focus on my music career, but I'm just infuriated by the negligence and the ignorance of the coverage that I see on MSNBC. Like, we were just happened to be riding home today and overheard an anchor talk about the Democrats need more political theater to help their base. Like, these are the same people that laughed at the idea of Donald Trump being president, the same people that cheerleaded Hillary Clinton and thought she was going to be this great candidate, the same people that despise Bernie Sanders despite him being incredibly popular among the people. So these are the same talking heads that they just bring on morons. I'm sorry, not to be rude, but let's keep it real. Like, they're bringing on talking heads, they're bringing on morons that are so out of touch with the American people. Most of these people probably don't even know anyone who makes under $50,000. Maybe they should talk to their Uber driver. Maybe they should talk to the person bagging their groceries, and they would understand why their coverage is almost offensive to the American people's intelligence. When you're talking about Russiagate while people can't afford groceries, when you're talking about things like that, what Donald Trump said that outraged you rather than the policies that he's, enacting or having any strategy to defeat him. The fact that they think Joe Biden will be a good candidate to defeat Trump is absurd. And you can mark my words now, this is a promise and a prediction. If Joe Biden runs against Trump, he will take a historic whooping, and it'll be a landslide in favor of Donald Trump, because it's going to be the same issue as Hillary Clinton of there's no energy, he has no energy with the base, or anyone under 40 is going to be voting for Joe Biden. But it's just things like that I see that mainstream media is feeding its own competition. You're creating more people like me that I know a lot of my friends and family get their news from me because they get it in a way that's real and digestible, and in a way that the mainstream media just won't do it. I think you guys are just not doing your job. I think that if I could dominate most of the talking heads that you have, if not just about all of them, and I'm just a regular guy, so I'm issuing that challenge. If any mainstream outlet or a local outlet wants to have me on to debate any of these people or to have my take on it, you want to hear a different take from Black Men in America. Like I said, we're one of the top websites, so if let's just see. I'm putting that out there. You can at me. I want all the smoke. Come see me. I'll debate about any topic, any issue. We need fresh voices, and we need to get these losers off the air who are they don't know what they're talking about. They just literally don't know what they're talking about.
All right, final question. The Democrats have upwards of 20 candidates running for office. What's your take on that, and who would you select if you're the political strategist?
I think it's a no-brainer. I think you select Bernie Sanders because he got rigged. We seen from WikiLeaks and everything that's come out that it was rigged against him, against Hillary Clinton, so that he wouldn't have a fair shot to even win the primary. He already has the energy and the enthusiasm that you would need from the young base and the generation of millennials and things like that to defeat Donald Trump, the people who are going to be inheriting this planet in the future. So climate change and things like that affects us more than it affects the older generation, the 50 and up, people who are going to be, behind Biden and things like that. Bernie's popular. It's a no-brainer to me, but at the same time, they have so many centrist candidates that are all the same, pretty much. Slight variations here and there, but they're all establishment, they're all safe, they're all corporate. Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke, whoever you want to say, they're all interchangeable. They're not going to offer you anything different. I think there are a few interesting candidates. I think Elizabeth Warren is good on policy, but maybe a little weak on politics. She's very good in terms of crafting legislation, but I'm not sure she could beat Trump in terms of the theater and the spectacle of politics. And I like Tulsi Gabbard for her anti-war stance. That's another big thing for our generation. we want no parts of these wars, like Iraq and Afghanistan, the stuff we grew up with. Now we've seen the disasters of these wars and why we don't need to be there, and why we need to focus on things at home here in America. So I think that resonates with people. But again, those candidates are way more dangerous to the establishment. So again, back to you mainstream media people, you don't want to cover Tulsi Gabbard. You don't want to cover Bernie Sanders. You maybe cover a little Elizabeth Warren a little bit, but not as much as you're going to fawn over Buttigieg and Biden and Harris and people who aren't going to rock the boat. We see that. We are the people who are not stupid. We can see that. So we can see how slanted your coverage is. We can see you in your bubble, and it's gross. So every candidate, it's democracy. It has a fair chance. I want to see everybody compete on the debate stage, but I think Bernie is the no-brainer. And if everyone got behind him in some way, maybe not everyone, obviously, but in the way that they did Hillary or something like that, he was slam dunk all over Trump. The polls show that last election. The polls show that this election, with Bernie versus Trump comparisons, the fact that Bernie can undercut Trump in the Rust Belt, where Hillary fumbled the football last election, as well as Bernie going to a Fox News town hall, getting standing ovations, making a great case for Medicare for all. It's not just, I'm against Trump. All these candidates on the Democratic side are about what they're against, but they're not what they're for. Bernie has plans. He's for, for income inequality, and you can see his platform, but he's about what he's for and not what he's against. And that resonates with people, and real people, not Cory Booker. We don't want some fake, polished, scripted politician. We want someone real, someone who's going to keep it real. We don't want more political theater. We want results.
There you have it, folks. A passionate young man who's passionate with his views, giving it to you straight with no chaser. Final comment, how can people get in touch with you?
You can find me at blackmeninamerica.com as a contributor, as well as Facebook, Instagram, all of the things with the Cortland Experiment. That's my band. So you can see us. We just had a great gig at Miracle Theater honoring Muhammad Ali, thanks to Harold Bell. So that was a great show. So you can see us there. But in terms of politics, like I said, you can find me at Black Men in America. Definitely at me. I want all the challenges. Anybody has a response, anybody wants to debate me, I'm ready. Let's get it.
Thank you.